Hi everyone. Right, today we're going to talk about the peptide called BPC-157. I'm going to start doing a little series talking about these different compounds that I've been utilizing. We're going to talk about peptides, supplements, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so I thought I'd start with one of the most popular ones that a lot of people are aware of, called BPC-157. Okay, so we're going to talk about what it is, what its benefits are, the dosages that you should use, the studies that have been done, and then we're going to talk about how you can get started on it if you decide you want to. So, what is BPC-157? BPC-157, it stands for body protective compound. It's a peptide. A peptide is something that is just basically a short chain of amino acids. Okay, BPC is a synthetic peptide derived from a protein found in the stomach. So it's natural in your body. Your body already has BPC in it. Okay, so, and then what they do is they make it synthetically in a lab, and then obviously you can have high levels of it and you inject that in, usually subcutaneously or orally. We'll get to that in a second. So it's widely recognized for its ability to reduce inflammation and accelerate healing throughout the body. Okay, how does BPC-157 work? It promotes blood vessel formation, enhances collagen production, and reduces inflammation. These effects support tissue repair and optimize the body's natural recovery processes. So I've had experience with this over the last couple of months, so I'm going to talk about that in a bit as well. The benefits of BPC-157. This peptide aids in healing injuries, reducing chronic inflammation, supporting gut health, and potentially repairing nerve damage. It's a versatile tool for recovery and overall wellness. Okay, so I've started using it because I've had chronic, obviously some of you guys know that I had MS and loads of neural inflammation and loads of debilitating physical symptoms from that. One of the main reasons I've taken this, one obviously for the systemic inflammation, yeah, so just reducing overall systemic inflammation is obviously a good idea, especially with autoimmune conditions. And I've had nerve damage all down the right side of my body. It feels like a sunburn, like constantly, loads of pain there. So I've noticed massive benefits from taking this with regards to that. Also, when I'm trying to do exercise and the recovery from the exercise, I've noticed an improvement from that. And the spastic muscles in my back, I get really tight spastic muscles in my lats and in the back of my shoulders that have been like that for years. Yeah, and they've not felt as good as they have since I've been taking this, basically. When I got on this, after a couple of weeks, they felt better than they felt in years, basically. Okay, so it has had a dramatic impact on the way that I feel. Hasn't completely kind of solved everything, you know what I mean? But it's definitely helped. It's something that I'm going to cycle in and out of probably pretty much indefinitely. Okay, so studies and research. So studies and evidence. Research highlights its ability to heal tendons, ligaments, and gut tissue. So there's a real strong correlation between like leaky gut and gut issues and gut inflammation and basically every autoimmune condition there is. Okay, so this helps to really kind of like heal up and seal up all of your gut, while also showing strong anti-inflammatory effects. Though most studies have been done on animals, the results are promising for humans. So there's an extensive amount of studies that have been done in rodents, and there are some in humans, but not as much. The reason why, guys, the reason why peptides and compounds like this are not available on the NHS is because it's a natural compound found in your body, okay? And it can't have a patent on it. So because it can't be patented, yeah, the pharmaceutical companies that push the drugs that go into the healthcare system, why would they put millions and millions of pounds into doing, you know, large scale studies for it, showing its efficacy for particular disease states, when the end result is going to be they can't make any money out of it anyway because they can't own it. So if they can't own it, they're not even going to look at it. Okay, so there's been loads of rodent studies done, but a lot of it is anecdotal evidence. A lot of people have just experienced using this peptide and felt incredible results. Some chronic issues people have had for years and years and years, and they jump on this peptide and all of a sudden they notice dramatic improvements in it. So if that sounds like you, if that's something that you've been dealing with over and over and over and over again, you've been trying loads of different therapies, loads of different things, and you've got muscle tightness and old injuries that just don't seem to go away no matter what you do, this may be something to consider. Okay, so BPC can be taken orally or via subcutaneous injection. with injections being more effective for systemic benefits. Okay, so you can take it orally. You can get it in capsule form. If you're specifically trying to target something in the gut, then maybe that's a good shout for you. I prefer just the subcutaneous injections because it just gets throughout your whole system and it tends to get to where it needs to be. Yeah, you can try both if you want, but if it's specifically gut, I'll try maybe try both, and then but if it's anything else in your system, just do it systemically. You can do it. Some people, if they have a knee issue, you can get local injections to the knee, but obviously you're going to probably get someone to do it for you to make sure you don't do any damage, hit any nerves or anything like that. Subcutaneous wise, you can do it if you find just basically any body fat anywhere that you can find, you can inject it into, but it's better to just do it into your belly, and then it will have systemic benefits. There's no evidence to show that there's any kind of like benefit from doing it locally compared to systemically. Okay, so you can just do it systemically, just put it into your belly fat basically. Dosages typically range from 250 to 500 micrograms a day. I started off at 250 and then I went to twice a day, so it was 500. And then it's good to cycle on and off it as well. You don't want to do it continuously forever because then your body builds up a tolerance to it. You can actually build up antibodies and basically it'll just become less efficacious over time if you do that. So if you're dealing with a chronic, like an acute, really intense phase of inflammation, and you've got like an illness, then maybe it might be a good idea to temporarily do higher doses of it, not worry about the tolerance too much because you're trying to deal with like a specific issue for that short period of time. But if not, then I would just especially when you're first playing around with stuff like this, always go low and go very slow with it. Okay, so safety and considerations. It is well tolerated with minimal reported side effects, but sourcing from a reputable provider is essential. Okay, it's so important you don't just go and look and get it off Amazon or Google, and there's some of it out there looks really cheap and it's like, oh well, this is the thing. You just don't know what you're getting unless you're getting it from a clinic or you're getting it from someone who really knows their stuff about it. And yeah, you don't want to just be blindly buying it off some random places online, that's for sure, because you're putting it into your body. It's bypassing your digestive system and getting straight into your bloodstream. So you want to make sure it's the top-notch, highest quality stuff that you're putting into your system, okay? Contraindications and precautions. So BPC-157 should be avoided during pregnancy, breastfeeding, or in cases of active cancer due to its ability to promote cell growth. So if you know that you've got active cancer, or maybe you've had active cancer and you're in remission, probably not a good idea for you to... It's probably not a good idea for you to experiment with it. That's just saying on the safe side, do you know what I mean? You've got to weigh up the pros and cons and everything, and it can improve the vascularity to certain areas and stuff. So if you've got an active tumor that you know about, or you're really prone to, as I said, if you've had it over the last few years and you're in remission, maybe stay away from this one, okay? And it says those with autoimmune conditions should approach with caution, okay? It says the effects on the immune function are not fully understood. Okay, so always consult with, like, if you've got a certain autoimmune condition, ask your doctor. Usually I ask my neurologist and the MS team about certain compounds like this, and this is absolutely fine, even to take alongside some of the strong medications that people take for MS. So yeah, I would speak to them about it. Don't be afraid to speak to them about it. Ask them, is it okay to take this? All this stuff has the peptides have a very short half-life, so they're in your system for a very short amount of time, and your body metabolizes them and gets rid of them. So if you start with a very small dose, see how you feel, see how you respond, and then if you feel okay, then you can titrate up the dose slowly. And if you don't, it's out of your system very quickly and you just don't touch it again. Okay, so I've done that with a few peptides. There's one which I'll talk about in the future, LL37, which seemed good on paper, and I tried a small dose and felt a bit sick and didn't really feel like a right fit for me, so I've stopped that one and I'm going to experiment with some different ones. So yeah, hope this video has helped to give you a little bit of education on the BPC-157, what it is, what it's all about. You may have heard of it a couple of times and not really sure what it is, so that's basically what it is. It's a peptide, so don't be afraid of this stuff. It's not woo-woo stuff. It's not kind of like, there's science behind it. It does work. It's just the fact that it's not mainstream because it can't be profited from massively by like the pharmaceutical companies, so they're not going to push it, okay, because they can't own it, Cool. So if you've got any questions, please drop a comment below or shoot me a message personally if you've got any questions. I'll quite happily try to point you in the right direction. All right, guys, take care. I'll speak to you soon.